Hello, everyone. I hope and pray that you're doing well. In Hebrews, we read, "Don't give up meeting together," which, if we were to say it on our phones, maybe we would say, "Don't ghost each other." And if the first century church needed such a reminder, certainly we probably do too, especially as summer hits. And I've observed as a pastor that gathering regularly with other Christians increases spiritual well-being. And we don't gather because life is so easy. We gather because life is real and we need to gather. Some things we simply can't do alone, so we gather together to find a place where we remember who we are when the week has pulled us in a million different directions. When voices beside our own in a community help sing faith back into us when our own voice is thin. Where scripture is spoken aloud, grounding us again in the story of God. Where people know our names and notice if we're missing. Where we find a rhythm that steadies us and reminds us that at least 1 out of every 7 days that God's grace sustains us through those other 6 days of the week. And then we also get a chance to practice hope. Even when the headlines can make it very hard to do so. And maybe most of all, God meets us in community in ways that God does not necessarily meet us in isolation. Of course, summer has a way of scattering us. People are scattered from the playground because it's so hot this afternoon, but we scatter as a church, road trips and camping and visitors and long weekends and the kind of general sense of where did summer go kind of feeling. But summer gives us creative ways to stay connected. So if you're traveling this summer, what if you made it what if you made gathering together with other Christians a priority? What if you dropped in on a church that you've never visited in a town that you're visiting? You might hear a hymn that you've never heard sung before, or you might hear a hymn that you hadn't heard in years, or meet a greeter who hands you a bulletin like it's winning a lottery ticket. Or if you're off camping, do a simple family worship time. One person reads a psalm, somebody else picks a song, and somebody prays, and maybe marshmallows count as fellowship. Or if you're at home, come join us on a Sunday. Even if you arrive sunburnt, or mosquito bitten, or smelling faintly like campfire, we'll take you just as God takes all of us, just as we are. And so wherever you find yourself this summer, keep that rhythm. Keep showing up in a sanctuary, around a picnic table, under the pines. God meets us, of course, in all of it. And we're better off when we don't walk the season alone, summer included. The peace of Christ be with you all.